that's the curry.
More there. Yeah,
I thought it was alright. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's cool. That's much better. That's really cool. That one's had a great result.
I can feel that glute working as I come through without actually consciously squeezing those slight movements just to change the position.
Hey guys, Aaron and Jason here. We're going to teach you all about why quads get tight, especially for people that sit down all day, and how this can potentially affect your gym programming. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about why this area gets tight. So Jace, pretend you're at an office for me.
In my undies, of course.
Yeah, in your undies. Great office you work in. So we can see the angle of this leg here. So when people sit, basically what's happening is the hip is sitting in hip flexion. Sorry for interrupting your video, guys, but I want to talk to you about the MMT Online Academy. So you might have been looking at Ninja and I doing our stuff for a long time now, thinking, how good would it be to work at MMT? But you might be overseas. This is your chance to get exclusive content, updates from us every single day to make you a better practitioner, more new customers, better results, and skyrocket your income. So if you want to be on the inner sanctum, get into the Academy. All you got to do is dedicate 5 minutes a day to making yourself better, and it's just 28 bucks per month. How good's that? $7 a week. Let's go! So all this area, that whole hip crease of muscles here, is generally in a shortened position. Okay, so let's say you've got an office worker that doesn't really move around too much. If they spend their life in this position, they're going to adapt to that situation there. And if they are not doing any training or running or sprinting or any exercises that do the opposite of this, which is hip extension, they're never going to unwind this pattern here, and they're never going to be able to activate their glute and hamstring properly. So these are the type of people that we see a lot that come in and say, I'm quad dominant, I can't feel my glutes. And generally, it's because of this pattern here, okay? So hang tight there, office worker. We're gonna go over to the muscle chart over here. So this is the hip crease here. You see, we've got quite a few muscles here. We've got long one there, that's sartorius. We've got TFL, we've got the pectineus, a few adductors there as well. But also we've got the quadriceps. So the quadriceps attached to the pelvis up here, and then they fan down the leg to the knee, okay? So this whole area is commonly quite short in these people. We've also got the iliacus and the psoas today as well that we're gonna have a look at. But yeah, what we wanna focus on more is the muscles of the thigh. And then what we're gonna do is go down to the gym and show you a few exercises, how you can elongate them as well. But what we're gonna do first is just a little bit of muscle testing on Jace, all right? So can we get you down, face down, Jace? So as a body worker, this is kind of stuff you can do as a screening to kind of see what areas are tight or if things are implicated. So the first one's just simply testing how much length the person can get in their quad. And one way to do that is just simply do a test of knee flexion here. So basically we're just trying to see how far Jace can get that heel down to the bum. And in Jason's case, it struggles quite a lot actually. Like this is actually quite funny for someone as athletic as Jason, as fit and as mobile as Jace. It actually really struggles. Like that's almost end range there for me.
Yeah,
like I can't push anymore. How does that feel for you?
It doesn't feel like I don't feel particularly tight anywhere, but it just doesn't feel like it wants to move.
Yeah, and
like
do you feel
probably feels around the knee if anything. But
so it's more knee than actually in the quad?
Yeah.
Yeah, and is it a stretch feeling though, or is it just a blocking?
A little bit of a stretch through like like quads tendon and patella.
Okay, but it's definitely not in the quad itself.
No,
though,
not really. No.
Cool. Another one you could do is do this. So you kind of wedge the foot underneath your arm there and hold the quad like that, and then you just place your hand on the glute here, and then just test by raising up. And this is testing the freedom at the front of the hip there, the top of the quad there. So it's almost like testing the joint capsule at the front, how much that can extend. How does that feel there, Jace? Yeah,
that feels tight towards that point there at the end range.
Yeah, okay. And where does that feel like it's tight?
Like in that quad tendon, sort of TFL region.
Yeah, so high up, not in the middle of the quad?
Nah, not middle.
Yeah, cool. So that's our pre-treatment gauge there. All right, let's test the other one now, see what this one's like. So what I would say to my client is remember the other side, you know, try and tune into what that one was like, and then you get a comparison here. So, whoa. That's tighter on my end, Jace, where I feel that end range.
And that's all through like quad, I feel that one now. There's nothing in the knee. It's more mid and upper quad.
Cool. So that's actually a proper stretch at least, though, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one just felt like it was almost like the knee joint was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jace, really struggles to get length into this region. Pan the camera in there to Ninja. Have a look, Leo. Have a look. Have a look. There he is, loving himself. Sick. His radar's on for jokes, isn't it? Anyway, let's test the hip capsule for Jace on this side. Let's see what this one's got. What's that like there, Jace?
Yeah, tight as well at that upper like hip crease region.
It's all in the hip crease.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. Can we get you to spin over, man? And what we're going to do now is it's called a Thomas test. So this really tests, again, the ability for Jace to open up in these tissues and create some length at the front of the thigh. Yep, so you sit on the edge of a bed like this, bring the knee up to the chest of the side you're not testing, and then we just have a look at what angles Jason's able to create here. So I guess what we're looking for is an ability for the knee to drop quite easily. That's actually not too bad, but what we're looking at is you want the lower leg to almost just hang, kind of like that. But the reason why it's not hanging is because all this tissue is pulling up and bringing that up into that position there. So we can definitely see that there's some lower quad tightness there that could be affecting Jason's posture and performance and ability to get the glutes going. So he could definitely benefit from that. Where are you feeling there, man?
Yeah, when you push the knee back, it definitely feels lower and mid quad.
Yep.
Even a little bit coming up into here, but yeah, majority of that lower half.
Okay, cool. Let's test the other side. So roll that leg back up and then there. So this one's interesting. This one looks like the knee's a little bit higher. So it's almost like this hip up there.
Yeah, that feels more there already.
Yeah. So you can see, guys, how when Jason did on the other side, the knee almost dropped a bit easier because it was able to be length in this situation, in this area of the body here. But because that knee's a little bit higher, we can basically determine that there's tension here. And then once again, some lower quad tension too, because there is an inability for the leg to just hang. Quite a lot of tightness there, Jason. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, bro. Let's get you to head on up the table here and let's get some treatment into the old fella.
into the old quads.
In the old quaddies. All right. So what we're going to do, the way I like to treat when we do this kind of work is actually treat the quad when it's in a lengthened position. So I like to just hang the leg off the table like so, and then just start to work the whole thigh. Sorry, Leo, come over here, bro. I'm going to come over to this section in here. So what we can do is start up here, pin these tendons. Remember, we just got to sink in. These tissues could be really tight on people, so just allow time for the pressure to be received here. They can be quite tender up here, and there's other things like nerves and blood vessels, arteries and lymph nodes here. So some people can take pressure straight away. Some people just need a bit of time, but this is how we start. How's that feeling for you there?
It's feeling good, yeah. Good connection and just a good therapeutic sensation. Feels like it needs to be worked already.
Bit more in there.
Yeah.
It's the beauty about being a body worker. Sometimes if you need to put more force in, just reinforcing the pressure with the other arm or whatever can just double the pressure without you having to exert any force. Good, Jay.
Yeah, I just felt myself holding a little bit there.
A little bit, yep. So you can see I'm just going super, super slow through here. Like the quads, I've had a chat before the video started, and just the layers of quads that there are. Like there's 4 muscles in the quadricep complex. That's why they call it the quads for 4. So you've got rectus femoris, you've got vastus lateralis, vastus medialis oblique, and then vastus intermedius, which is really, really deep. So to get to that bone level, we've got to sink in and allow those tissues to melt so that we can affect the deep fascial connections there, the areas that are going to actually change this tissue rather than just offer kind of temporary relief. I feel like I'm coming up to something there a bit.
Yeah, I can feel a bit of a ball coming up.
Yeah. So,
Which is interesting. This one felt more tight at the top of the quad, but as you're working down, like when you're treating, it feels lower.
Yeah. That's why with bodywork, you just got to be thorough, because even though something might test as being more, say, anterior hip when we do the testing, it might be getting anchored from down here. So releasing the mid quad could be the thing that releases the top of it. So yeah, we're just going to show you a couple of little techniques today that you can take into your practice. We won't make it too long because we've got a little bit to show. And then we'll show you 2 little drills at the end of the video that are really easy drills that you can either give as homework or do after you do a bodywork session with someone. That's going to really promote unraveling what sitting down all day does to people. How's it feeling as I come down here, Jace?
That's all right down there. Yeah.
Not too bad.
No, not as bad. Definitely more that mid quad. That's where I felt the most.
And coming all the way over the knee there. Beautiful. So I might get an elbow in there now, guys. So should be already waxed up a little bit on the leg, but put a bit of wax on the elbow as well. And then sinking in. Whenever you go from a palm stroke or something like that to an elbow stroke, you kind of always just go slower even again because you don't know how much more force you can apply with your elbow compared to your palm. How's that there, Jace?
That's good. I feel like even a little bit more lateral, you could roll down and, yeah, that angle there. I reckon it'll hit a bit more where I feel that upper quad.
Cool. So we're already tracing here, so this is going to be a pretty connected, comprehensive stroke. I can feel like this is going to give him a bit of curry, I reckon, viewers. So
Yeah. Stay tuned.
stay tuned. Is this something you reckon you've had for a long time, Jace? We've never tested this before on you, but
I feel like my quads are probably always a bit tight, but I'll probably get more treatment on my hamstrings and my glutes and calves. So quads probably get a bit neglected in terms of the treatment side of things. So yeah, it's probably something I have needed for a long time.
it is a funny concept, that, isn't it? Like, it's so classic to just get glutes, hammies, calves.
Yeah.
But yeah, we always know as MMT bodyworkers how much gems there are on the front side of the body in general, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I don't necessarily have feeling, like they don't feel as tight where my hamstrings or something like that with footy and everything that I do. I notice when they feel tighter, but my quads I don't necessarily feel as much day to day or when I'm training. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I have known for a while that my quads are tight and lack that sort of ability to probably fully extend the hip.
Some of the amazing benefits from treating quads, though, is I've had a lot of customers that you treat their quads and then they feel like their posture is immediately better. There's more of a sense or awareness of their whole posterior chain as well, like their glutes and their hamstrings. They feel like the position of their feet on the ground as well is better too. So if you've never had your hip flexors or your quads treated, I'd recommend getting it done. If you're more of a client that's watching this video rather than a body worker, yeah, we encourage you to
that
go and
reciprocal
experience.
inhibition, isn't it? It's treat one area and start to activate and strengthen the opposing area.
Exactly, yeah. So what Jace said then, if you didn't hear it, was the phrase reciprocal inhibition. So it's basically, as Jace said, just sometimes we have muscles that are overactive and short and they can actually inhibit the way the opposing muscles work. And in this case, you've got hip flexors and knee extensors, so the quads, is going to inhibit your hip extension and your knee flexion, which is your glutes and your hamstrings. So that's what I was saying before. A lot of people, they come in and say, "Oh, my glutes don't work," or all this kind of stuff, and a lot of it can just be because they just have such an over tight quad complex. It's causing their brain to not even perceive where their glutes are.
Yeah, they don't have the ability to actually get that hip into proper extension or flexion for
Yeah. How's it feeling going the other way, man? So we've just
feels
turned
all right
around
so
and
far, but yeah, I feel like you're coming up to now that mid
something in
quad.
there.
Yeah.
What about if you could start some active stuff now too? Yeah. So see, Jace is just going to start to bring his heel back to his bum there on the table. So that this like quad's going through a lengthening as I'm pinning it. So it's forcing it to stretch, and then there's just going to be blood, the new cells that are going to be flushing into these little nooks and crannies that have been. There's a bit. Yeah.
Trying to move at the same time. Oh, a bit of curry.
Bit of curry. Deep, sharp, heavy.
Just that heavy sort of dull quad pain. It's different to glute and hamstring pain. It feels more dull. It's a different type of intensity that you get.
Doing good, man. Keep breathing into that. Breathe, 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 breathe. Good man. Oh, yes. I really like that actually. I really feel like you're stretching.
Yeah.
when I come up to this point, actually. That's good, Jace. Can you keep going there? Oh, yes. A few more. Love it. Beautiful, man. Have a breather there.
Oh.
Just let that hang a little bit. See if that feels a little bit better there. That's good. All right. Sorry, man. What I'm going to do now is, what I like to do as well is, Jace did some, what are you feeling? You cramping? Where are you cramping your glute?
In my glute, yeah. I didn't want to ruin the video, but there we go. It's all right now.
You were working hard to get that active.
I must have been, yeah.
Movement going on, man. It's good. So what I'm going to do now is, let me know if it cramps again,
No, it's all good now.
Jace. But so what you can do now is actually do some passive stuff. So as I'm taking up that stroke now, I can actually move his foot back myself rather than him have to actively do it. Nice, man. So you should be able to get a picture there of just as I'm pinning it, there's length getting into that front of the leg. Yeah, you just relax there, man. You don't have to do it, bro.
Yeah.
Let go, Jace. How's it feel when I do it for you?
Yeah, it's fine.
Doesn't hurt too much?
No.
Yeah, it's a cool feeling as a body worker when you're pinning something like this and you can feel underneath you like it's just flossing. So just get that feeling that this is what Jace has needed in this area. So we'll do this last stroke.
Yeah, there's a bit more in there.
In there, yeah?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So in a bodywork session where we're doing both sides, once again, just like the range of motion testing, I'll be getting my client to really tune into these sensations just before we do the other side. So they're very aware of what the comparison is. Because, yeah, you got to get your clients to really buy in on this stuff and really be a part of the process. Because a lot of the people I see, some of them are quite... they don't have much conscious awareness of their body. They're quite out of touch with their body. So they're the people that you want to really include in the process. Because, yeah, we want to create good awareness. Like in terms of our customers, we want them to have good awareness of their body and good understanding of what symptoms are and what the messages are that they're trying to get in every moment. Because the body's always trying to tell us important things. And so if we can kind of teach that during our bodywork sessions, it's going to be better off. Beautiful. So there's so much good blood flow in there now. That feels...
That last stroke was great coming up the side of the hip.
That was the money winner for you, bro?
Yeah.
All right. So, shuffle over this way, Jace. Let's compare. All righty. So, with footy, you're a left footer?
Yeah. So my right doesn't get used anywhere near as much.
So you reckon you do a lot of kicking motions, which is what the quad does, doesn't it? So.
Yeah. I'm a typical left footer that has no right foot. It's just there for balance.
So you'd say that this one should be tighter, right?
Should be tighter, yeah. I think when we tested as well, this one was definitely...
It was tighter, wasn't it? Yeah.
Had more of that muscular tightness rather than... Yeah, the right one was more at the knee. And already that feels more tender in there.
More in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like there's more tone and mass in this too, man. Do you feel stronger when you're doing lifting as well on the left side at all?
Yeah, I feel like, in my squat, when it gets heavier, I probably do use my left side a bit more, now that I think about it.
Yeah, this feels like I've got to connect into such a more amount of tissue here.
Yeah, feels like you can't get as deep straight away as the other one.
It's really toned, man. It's
a
good
bit of
one.
a rock.
Yeah. So you can kind of get the gist as well. Just like flushing massage is just not going to be enough to get to the depth where this stuff actually needs to unravel. So it might feel good in the outset. You might get a little bit of short-term change. It might feel good to get a flush, bit of blood flow, which is all good and well. But if we're trying to really change the way Jason's body's performing and the posture, you just got to spend time. Like, this video is probably going to be a 40-minute video, but this would be an hour session, and this is probably going to be a pretty long video. Eh? So it just shows that you've got to take time. And with our customers, if people are used to coming to see massage therapists and they want basically their whole body treated, sometimes if you want to fix something, you've got to tell them, hey, we've got to dial in here. We've got to be really thorough. We've got to take a deep dive into this.
Yeah, it's not always about just getting through the whole body. Sometimes, yeah, you might have the plan of, oh, let's get through everything. But if things come up as a body worker, we know, like, well, you can't just, yeah, as a benefit for your body, you can't just move over it and move on. So you want to address that because that could potentially lead to something down the track. So you can't always stick to the same plan that the client might have coming in. As long as you're clear with that, saying, oh, yes, there is a bit more going on here. Let's focus on this. To clear up any potential things that could be inhibiting your patterns.
Yeah. Yeah, the education and the coaching side of things massive. It's a really important hat that we wear, and for body workers out there, we encourage you guys to think about the different hats that you do wear, like the coach, the counsellor, the nurturer, the trainer. You've got to have a kind of broad depth of knowledge with the body, rather than just be a body worker, because you've got a human in front of you that's got a lot of challenges and things that we face every day. So being able to wear those different hats is really, really important. Yeah, there's heaps more.
Oh yeah, there's a lot more in there.
How's that line there on the lateral side?
Yeah, that feels good.
Hitting some gold.
Yeah, it feels like it's picking up a lot. Yeah.
The plough.
The plough.
Mr. Plough.
The snow plough.
Snow plough.
Mr. Plough King. Oh, yeah, that's good.
That's awesome, Jace. This is real life treatment here, man.
It's unravelling, yeah. It's good. It's been what I've screamed out for. My body's probably been telling me.
A proper fly on the wall treatment video here, that we're not just putting on a bit of a show of techniques. This is actually getting stuff done. How's it feel as we get down to the mid?
Yeah, it's not as bad through that lower section now.
Stay connected when you move. How's your leg in that position, man?
It feels good, yeah, that's fine there. Yeah.
See, when you put your customers, like, body parts in different positions, just always check in that they're comfortable. It may look comfortable for you and you may feel comfortable, but sometimes it can put their joint in a little bit of a vulnerable position. So checking in on that is important as well. Oh, yeah. Across the knee there. Which is the one that you felt more in the knee? Was that?
That was the right.
That was the other
This one was
wasn't
more
it?
muscular and more quad tightness feeling. Yeah.
And the right was had hip flexion involved, didn't it? Like,
yeah, this one was.
I can already feel like this one is lower. This one's like your foot's almost hitting the ground here.
Yeah,
whereas the other one wasn't, eh?
Nah. Yeah, this one felt more hip capsule-y, sort of higher up, where this one feels probably more just pure like quad.
Yeah. So he's pretty close to the ground here, but we can...
I can probably shuffle a little bit to give you a bit more room there.
Yeah, cool. That's good, man. So I'm going to start some passive stuff here. Just get a bit of length. How's it feeling there, man?
It's good, yeah.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
There
a
it
few
is.
flicks.
Rolled over something good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now it's getting gristly.
Yeah, there's heaps in there.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up to something
Yeah,
good.
now we're getting some... Oh, yeah, we're getting some gold there.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's all right.
Oh. Might just do one more active one in there. So just use this elbow. Felt like that midsection was where the money was. Yeah, so if you can actively just start, just small ones though, man. Don't go too much so you don't cramp your glute. Think about bringing relaxation to your whole body, and it's just that lower leg moving. Because there's something else too. When you get your clients sometimes to do active movements, they kind of think it needs to be this big thing, this big thrust of a movement. But when we're doing dynamic stuff, it is just oscillations. So you've probably seen us do a lot of dynamic ankle, dynamic neck. You don't want the movement to be too big. Just little small changes so that we can bring blood flow and healing and new cells into that area of the body that was stuck. We just need blood to go into this little microscopic new area, and that healing can occur. It's good there, Jace.
Oh, yeah.
In there?
Yeah. Yeah, from there up to...
Right through there.
Oh,
Right there.
Yeah, that's the curry. And then from there, it's all right now. Oh, no.
More there? There's something
Yeah,
else.
I thought it was all right. Oh, that's good.
Beautiful, mate. I'm just thinking one more. Can we just check your Thomas test, and I might do a treatment in that position maybe.
All right.
Just to see.
Do we
Just
want
the ultimate dynamic.
left, or do you want to test both?
Go both. Just test both out. Yeah, cool. I reckon there's been some change in that one. 100%. I reckon it was more about there.
It definitely feels like it drops.
Yeah, cool. Let that relax again, man. Yeah, that's cool. That's much better. Awesome. Try the other one. And roll back. Oh, amazing. Yeah, man. That's huge. Because that one was the one that the hip was like up there, and it was like that.
I feel like everything's dropped a lot more on that
That's
side.
really cool. That one's had a great result there, man. That's awesome. Perfect. Brilliant. I won't need to treat that. What we're going to do now, guys, take you down into the gym. Jackson's mugging the way, and we'll show you some exercises. Woo. All right, guys, so we're down in the gym to show you some exercises. But yeah, Jace, maybe talk about what it feels like when you got up and
so
walked
for me,
around.
particularly on this right side, as you could see from the test, it felt a lot better. But for me, previously, when I was in a lunge position, this hip was feeling really tight. I thought it was more like TFL. But yeah, when I'm in that lunge position, even pushing my hips forward, I don't feel any sort of stretch or catching sort of feeling in there now. So that hip crease feels a lot more free and open. So there's just a lot more range through there.
That's really good, because that first drill, what we're going to do is actually literally that exercise there. So it's perfect that you're in that position, man. So let's try it on that right side. So it's what this drill is. It's like the classic hip flexor stretch, but it's just a real dynamic version of it that gets the whole body incorporated, and you're more likely to get long-term change rather than it be a static stretch, because this is a movement. So what you're going to need is just something that is a very light weight, and it's not about how heavy it is. This is just about having something that has a tiny bit of weight so we can help with some velocity of the movement, okay? So what you're going to do, Jace, is basically let the ball come to your side like this, hinge down, and like kind of think about stretching this hamstring over here, and then you're going to come up all the way above your head, and then just lead with this knee and the hip flexor in here.
Yep.
So you're down, and up, down, and up. And try and think about like getting a nice big stretch through the abs and the front of that hip there, okay? So use the ball there. Go. Nice, man. Cool, that's it. So you get the ball to lead the movement. Good, man. So you can see Jason's getting this beautiful rotation of the rib cage and the spine as well. So rather than just stretching one particular set of muscles, he's getting a whole beautiful lengthening through this region here. And if you come down here, Leo, from this side, what we want to see from Jace is to get lengthening throughout this whole front side. So how much can this rib cage open up? That's better. Good. Then the knee leads the movement. Good, man. Let's go 5 more. 5. Good. And when I give this to my clients, I say, you don't want it to be too strenuous. It's almost like more relaxative or meditative. You know, you're trying to just go into a flow state rather than do it as a strenuous exercise. That's really good, Jason. If you can keep going, I want to talk about this whole hip extension thing. Remember at the start we spoke about how Jason spends a lot of time in that position there, hip flexion. Now have a look here. So the femur, look at the femur here, is getting into extension. The hip's getting into extension. So hip flexion, hip extension. So all these office workers that are tight and compressed through here all day, all of a sudden there's this beautiful length coming into it, and these bones are used to going in the opposite position. Because there's that saying that I always say, joints act, muscles react. So Jason, by getting his hip extending like this, it's actually allowing time for this to open. Yeah,
I can feel that glute working as I come through without actually consciously squeezing it. I'm feeling it getting actually activated and getting some fatigue in there as well. So
beautiful, man. Do you want to try the other side just to get a bit of a comparison?
That one felt a bit awkward.
Yeah, so this is the great thing too. It's like a motor control thing. Like a lot of people will feel it's harder on one side to balance. So you're actually getting this like stabilization effect as well. Good, man. Can the hands go a bit higher on this side? Good, man. See how he's actually not getting into much hip extension here, actually? Good, man. Can you lead with the right knee and get that hip going? That's better. Good, man. Ooh. So what are you feeling that's a bit harder about this side, man? I'm keen to know what...
It doesn't feel like it wants to sit back as much.
Sit back into it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So let's think about, can you come forward more to sit back more? That's it. Can that right knee come forward more? Get that right knee leading that movement. Good, man. All the way down. Hands up. Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. Nice, man. Good. Can you go a little bit more freer and flowier and quicker like you were the other side? That's it. Sometimes just adding some speed into the movement can actually help with the propulsion of it. That's better. Starting to come now, man. Can you keep going, but just bring relaxation to your whole body too, man? That's it. Just to see if you can switch some muscles off to allow that movement to be a bit more fluid. It's good, man. Where are you feeling the stretches on this side? Or is it just harder in general?
Yeah, it just doesn't feel as flowy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just feels a bit more rigid.
Yeah.
Like I just don't have as good a mechanics on this side.
Yeah.
Everything feels a bit more, stuck and
Yeah, cool.
not in that flow state that I had on the other side.
Yeah, no, awesome. Brilliant, man. Well, the last one we're going to show you is, this is one I wanted to do first with you, but I just thought because you're already in that lunge position, it would be good to show this. It's just a classic couch stretch. So for people out there that want to, just get more length into it whilst not doing any exercise, what I want you to do, Jace, is basically just, you can use a couch from home, guys, or a bed or something. This is the position that you're going to be in. So you're going to put your foot up on something here and go into that same lunge position. And right now I can feel like a really big, beautiful stretch in the front of that leg. So this can be a nice way that you can just get a bit of length in there too. So let's see which one. Can you put that knee down, or is that a bit too high? I've got long legs though. So actually, if you want to take that away, man, I'll get a different plyo box for you.
Bit smaller.
Hopefully that's not too small. Cool, man.
Cool.
Yeah, can you get that knee on the ground? Just let that knee rest there. Good, man. And can you get your bum back towards your heel? That's good, bro. Yeah. So how do you feel in that position?
Yeah,
there?
that's through that mid and upper quad.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit even in the knee,
Yep.
like I was when we first tested.
Yep. Yeah, true, because this was the one you felt in the knee, didn't you, when you were in that position? So yeah, can Jay spend 2 minutes here a day for a week's time, trying to get that bum more back to that heel? And then will that change the way he moves? Is that going to change the testing in a week's time when he comes back for his second session? So this is the whole idea behind homework. It's trying to give things so that they can continue working on this when they're not with you.
You can even do like little oscillations
Little reps,
in this position.
Just to, so you're not just
Statically holding, but it becomes a bit more that dynamic, slight move. Like it's nothing crazy, but yeah, just those slight movements just to change the positioning there.
Perfect, man. Let's try the other side. It's a nice feeling though, isn't it? Getting that much stretch into that.
It is.
Cool. Let's test the sides.
right.
Feels like you're a bit more confident going back on that one,
Yeah.
are you? Yeah.
But this was the side that I was less
Yeah,
balanced on.
yeah.
It's interesting.
You definitely look like you got better range on that side,
Yeah.
but
And this one, it feels more quad, nothing in the knee.
yeah. Nice, and then the reps, it looks like you can lean back a little bit more on this one.
Just trying to feel how far away I am.
But the cool thing is, I like about it is like, it's showing up something that you weren't aware of in terms of the balance as well.
Yeah.
So if Jace works on this and gets more balance there, how does that change his running and his footy and his lifting? So yeah, beautiful, mate.
Oh, there we go.
So for office workers out there, people that sit a lot, or people that may be training and actually feel like they can't use their glutes, or they just feel this excessive tension at the front of their body, potentially hip impingement or lower back pain, there's an idea of what you want from your body worker in terms of treatment. If you're a body worker, some areas to treat and some ways to assess where the tightnesses are, and then two drills that you can do from home to help unwind this as well.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.